So get this. They actually called it, and I am not joking here, Form 88-B. It was this absolutely monstrous, like 50-page digital, well, not even digital, it was a scanned PDF registration process designed by Brent to, quote, optimize stakeholder alignment, which is basically corporate speak for making sure the actual owners of the company couldn't, actually vote.
Wait, Form 88-B? That sounds like something you'd use to import rare soil, not vote in a board election. What was actually on it?
Oh, mate, it was a total dog's breakfast. You had to, certify your beneficial ownership with a physical notarized signature from a bank officer, but only if your holding was over 0.5%, and then upload it to this glitchy portal that looked like it was coded in 1998. And if there was a single typo, boom, rejected. Which is exactly what happened to this massive institutional investor who held, wait for it, 15% of the whole company.
15%? That is not a typo on a personal trading app. That is a massive pension fund. They got blocked because of, what, a misplaced comma?
Exactly. A tiny little formatting discrepancy in the automated compliance portal. The portal, spat out an error saying their middle initial didn't match the database from 3 years ago. So 15% of the votes just gone. Vanished. Flat out deleted.
And let me guess. Karen didn't see this as a catastrophic system failure, did she? She saw it as, a success story for the process?
Oh, she was absolutely over the moon, mate. She logged it as a voter compliance anomaly and immediately scheduled, get this, a 3-hour meeting of the executive steering committee just to discuss whether they should, schedule another task force to investigate the portal's efficiency. They were having a meeting about having a meeting while 15% of their owners were literally pounding on the front glass door with pitchforks.
It's the classic clown shoe playbook. If the house is on fire, don't throw water on it. Just schedule a steering committee to evaluate the thermal efficiency of the flames. So while the steering committee is literally admiring the wallpaper while the building burns, they decide they need to bring in, of course, Trevor, the consultant, right?
Oh, you bet. Trevor rolls in with his shiny blue suit and gets a 6-figure contract to build a shareholder harmony dashboard. 150 grand. Just to show, in real time, mind you, how many shareholders were currently disaligned by the voting bloc. Meanwhile, the legal threat of a massive, massive fiduciary lawsuit is just hanging over their heads like a wet blanket.
$150,000 for a dashboard. Fantastic, because nothing resolves a multi-million-dollar legal threat quite like a really nice bar chart with customized pastel colors.
Exactly. But see, this is where Club Genius steps in. Nancy and Blake, they didn't look at Trevor's fancy pants dashboard. They went down to the basement, or wherever the hell they keep the old stuff, and dragged out the actual physical corporate charter binder. It was 3 inches thick, covered in dust. Probably hadn't been opened since the Sydney Olympics, mate.
Oh, the ancient scrolls. I love this. There is always some forgotten sentence written in 1984 that completely breaks the modern corporate illusion, isn't there?
Oh, completely. Blake is flipping through these yellowing pages, coughing on the dust, and he finds the section Onboard Indemnity. He walks right into the executive boardroom, where Trevor is showing off his pastel pie charts, and Blake just clears his throat and asks the single most beautiful, simple question that just stopped the entire room dead cold.
Oh no, don't leave me hanging. What on earth did he ask?
Mate, he looks right at Brent, then he looks at Karen and says, has anyone noticed that Article 9, Section 4 states that if we actively block a registered shareholder vote, the board's personal liability insurance is immediately voided?
Oh wow. The D&O insurance. The literal shield that keeps the directors from losing their own houses if they get sued. Gone?
Gone. Poof, in an instant. The charter explicitly said that any deliberate decapping decision, like blocking a valid vote through administrative trickery, constitutes a direct breach of fiduciary duty. And the moment you breach that, the insurance policy is null and void. They were like personally on the hook for millions. You should have seen Brent's face. He went pale as a ghost. Even a kangaroo could trip over this, but they'd walked right into it.
So let me guess. The 5-page Form 88B was scrapped in what? Record time?
Oh, mate, record time doesn't even cover it. It was like 5 minutes flat. They didn't even have a meeting. Brent literally ran to his laptop, hands shaking, and disabled the portal block. But the best part? Karen immediately sends out an email to the entire company claiming this was a, quote, successful trial of our agile risk mitigation framework. She actually took credit for fixing the problem she created.
It is amazing how quickly stakeholder alignment becomes just let them vote when your own personal mortgage is suddenly on the line. But you know, this really cuts to the heart of what we talk about on Club Genius. True corporate governance. It's not a bureaucratic obstacle course designed to keep the owners out. It exists to protect those ownership interests and enforce fiduciary duty.
Spot on, mate. When a board starts making these decapping decisions, thinking they're being clever by shielding themselves from the shareholders, they're actually acting against the absolute best interests of the company and the owners. And honestly, they should be removed summarily for it. Put on notice, at the very least.
Absolutely. If your governance process is so complex that it blocks the very people who own the company, you aren't managing risk. You're just building a massive, expensive blind spot that is eventually going to explode in your face. Don't hide behind the binder. Read it.
Too right. Well, I'm off to the shed to put the carburetor back on the trail bike. Good chat, mate.
Talk soon. And to our listeners, subscribe or like and share this episode with others if you got a good laugh at the Clown Shoe Club members. And keep listening to Club Genius Stories.